All right, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy Fight Day. For the first time in 2021, the UFC is in action. UFC Fight Island 7 kicks off at the top of the hour, just a little over 29 minutes from right now. And we're going to talk all about it with all of you guys. Main event, of course, Max Holloway versus Calvin Kattar, the UFC's first event to air on ABC. And we're happy to be joined by all of you guys for the live pre-fight Q&A here on MMAfighting.com. I am Mike Heck, being joined in Abu Dhabi right now by the great Jose Youngs. There he is.
What's up, guys?
How are we doing, sir? We have Alex K. Lee, the Prince of Positivity.
I think Alex K. Lee is here. I think I'm here.
Excellent. And then we have Casey Leiden during the morning hours in Inglewood, California. How are you, sir?
Doing wonderful, sir.
Wonderful. And for those of you who are new to this, we tried this at the end of 2020. We did a bunch of pre-fight Q&As because we want to turn the programming over to all of you guys. And AK, I hope you're ready to go. We got a nice clear lens, which is nice. So leave your questions in the chat. There you go. Leave your questions in the chat, and we're just going to attack them up until the first fight is about to begin. So, Casey, if we have any questions, we can go right to them. I have no money.
That's all we got right now.
Sure.
That's all we're...
Sure.
Wait,
hold on.
That's good. I mean,
right?
Let me send out this hot tweet.
Well, it's a fight night, guys. It's on ABC. You gotta have all you need is a TV and an antenna to watch today's card. This is
excellent point.
If you are flat broke, like fat bald guy, this is the fight for you.
AK, what were you saying, buddy?
Sending out a hot tweet. This will bring in the hot questions.
Well, there you go.
Oh, yeah,
That's all I had to say. That's all I had to say.
Yeah, so leave your questions. This is all about what you guys want to talk about, so leave them in there and we'll pull them right up. But how are we feeling, Jose? We're 27 minutes and 13 seconds away from the first event of 2021 kicking off. You've been in Abu Dhabi for several days now. It's fight night where you're at. How you feeling as we're very close to this one kicking off?
It's interesting. We were talking about in the media room back there because I got here pretty early because I wanted to see the setup in the media room and stuff, just because I just wanted to know ahead of time, especially for the Conor fight where I'd be. But I went outside of the octagon and I saw fans piling in. The plexiglass is set up, separating the floor from the crowd. They have the VIP section on the floor that there's like a couch like every 6 feet, so the socially distanced VIP section. So definitely an interesting feel. I saw, I don't know if it was the new ABC cold open intro. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. It looks like a video game, and then it ended with Walking Buckley's KO of Impish Kasanganai, but it was all like edited cool with like 3D graphics and everything. It was pretty awesome. So excited to see the UFC's debut on ABC, that's for sure. Considering the rich history of combat sports on ABC, no one's really talked about it with Dan White yet. I wish I could have. Such is life.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. First time combat sports is going to air on ABC in over 2 decades. So this is a very big deal for the UFC and the sport. So very excited. Do we have any questions yet, or do we need to address
They should be steering hard into the ABC angle. Like Muhammad Ali knocked out Sonny Liston on ABC. Muhammad Ali fought on free ABC like 16 times.
Yeah, but that's boxing.
Like that.
Boxing's not a real sport. They can't even.
That's not real.
Muhammad Ali can't stop a double leg. This is real fighting. This is real fighting, bro. Right now we love boxing. Now, come on, man. We're MMA fans. We hate everything.
Let me correct myself. Cassius Clay knocked out.
There we go.
Yeah,
I'll give you a history lesson later, Casey, if you've never watched sports before. But yeah, I'm very excited for combat sports to be back on ABC.
Dude, down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. One of the greatest calls of all time. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
I see guys get taken down. I see guys get taken down in the UFC all the time. It's not a big deal. Yeah. It's not a big deal. This is a big deal in boxing. Come on. I see guys get taken down all the time.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Casey, what do we got?
Yes.
The dog colored shirt, AK.
Oh. Kattar versus Holloway over under 2.5 rounds. AK, we'll start with you.
I would have to take the over. I don't think either guy has Kattar. What are Kattar's losses? He hasn't been taken out inside of a round and everything, has he?
No, he lost to Moicano and
decisions, right? Yeah, I mean, I imagine most people, if they're going under, are imagining a Kattar upset. I mean, Kattar's had the more recent, first finishes. I mean, those guys are totally different beasts than Max Holloway. I say Max Holloway is a totally different beast from that. With respect to like Ricardo Lamas and Chris Fishgold. Ricardo Lamas is super tough, but I mean, Calvin Kattar put him away, and that's a credit to how good Kattar is. Could I see him taking Holloway inside of 2 rounds? Doubtful. And I think Holloway certainly can finish, but I mean, he's more prone to going into the later rounds and outlasting people. So easy over for me.
Anyone taking the under here?
Well, I mean, everything says over, but history tells us that if Kattar's going to be finished, he gets finished on national TV. It's the last time he was finished ever.
There we go.
Elite XC.
Elite XC.
I forgot he was on that card too. Like going back. You were there, right?
I was there. I was cage side. Esther was cage side. Esther has photos. We have zero memory of that fight. Zero memory of Kattar that entire week. took photos of him. I shot him at the weigh-ins. I probably said hi to him. Just backstage.
He was only
He
was only 3-0 at the time. I mean, that was only his 4th pro fight, so it's not surprising you guys, I think, wouldn't remember.
Just from a promotional standpoint, he came in as the opponent. The guy he was fighting was named James Jones, but he went by Binky Jones, and he was actually a prospect that Elite XC was after. And so Kattar was actually just the opponent. So from a promotional standpoint, we weren't even paying attention to him. They were like, just focus on Binky Jones. That's the guy where, that's just how it was. Oh, this fight's definitely going over 2.5. If it goes under 2.5, I'll be kind of bummed out because you want to see more of this fight. I don't like a quick 30-second KO. Why that's cool? Nah, man, these guys are too good. We want to see some action.
Can you imagine though? Can you imagine? Down goes Holloway. Down goes Holloway. Can you imagine that? I just made that call up, by the way. That was just off the dome. I don't know. That'd be a cool thing to say. It's not based off of
AK's new character. Is AK's new character ignorant Canadian all of a sudden in 2021?
It's not. It's not new. It's not new. This isn't a new character. No, come on. This isn't new.
Biggest upset of the night: Jing Liang by KO. Sven Loser with the hot take right there. So, what do you think, Jose? Let me ask you. What's your prediction for upset of the night?
Upset. That's a good question. I'll say Alessio de Chirico. I think this could be a trap fight. I know in college football we have trap games. ASU has fallen to many a trap game whenever we thought we were a relevant football team in America. This feels like a trap fight because Alessio de Chirico is just incredibly durable. And Joaquin Buckley has back-to-back impressive wins, but what happens when he lands these spectacular blows and the guy doesn't go to sleep? Could he win by decision? 100%. Could he win like a 30-25 fight? Absolutely. But I'm curious to see how Joaquin Buckley faces someone who is very difficult to put away. So if Chirico pulls it off, it could be a lackluster win. I'm not sure, especially with Buckley saying the pressure of that KO. Actually felt the pressure of that KO. The last few fights, more specifically the last fight than this one. But yeah, wouldn't surprise me if Jericho pulls off the quote-unquote upset here on UFC on ABC.
Yeah, he's at according to 5 Dimes, a plus 260 underdog right now heading into this fight. So my pick was actually good. I have 2. One is not really that big of an upset anymore, but Jocelyn Edwards came in as a 2-1 underdog to start. Now she's it's pretty much an even money fight now, minus 110 on each side against Wu Yanan. And then Vanessa Mello versus Sarah Moras. That could be one to take a look at as well. The lines have closed pretty tight on that one. Vanessa Mello is now a plus 165. Before she was close to a 3-1 dog. So the lines are closing in on that. Vanessa Mello finally made weight. She actually looked pretty good. Looks like to be taking her physical nature seriously, the training, all that stuff. So I think that's something to look at as well, even though Sarah's is a pretty tough gal. So any upsets stick out for you guys, AK or Casey?
I mean, I definitely would have gone Imavov and Haas, which is, for anyone just tuning in and didn't see the news, that fight is now off the card. I think it was non-COVID related medical issues for Haas. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So that fight is off. Unfortunately, featured prelim. That would have been one of my picks. I think Imavov is a lot better than people think. But it sounds like we're saying there's a lot of upset potential because I agree with all the things you guys said. And I would also point out the Zavada Ameev fight. I think Zavada is really good. I think he's depending where you look, he's one of the bigger underdogs in the card. And I actually think that's a pretty even matchup. I know their records make it look like Ameev should be a heavy favorite, which I guess is why he is. But I think Zavada is really good, and I think some of his results aren't necessarily indicative of how talented he is. So that's another potential upset I see.
Yeah, there's a lot of live underdogs tonight, or this afternoon, excuse me.
Yeah, I would have to go with the Jericho pick. I mean, I'm picking him, and I'm picking him by decision. Buckley hasn't. Buckley, when he faces tougher competition, he loses. So Jericho is a. I don't know. Would you say he's better than Impa?
I think so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm thinking Jericho is actually his toughest opponent. He's fought in the UFC. So yeah, I'm picking Jericho.
It's a good fight.
It's excellent fight, excellent matchmaking. It's weird. It's not the Krause fight, but it's weird that the UFC is going with Jericho to potentially derail their hype train in a sense. But yeah, here we are.
Yeah, maybe not though.
Yeah, maybe
Buckley
not.
Comes through.
Maybe Buckley proves me wrong. That's why I love
ABC, big platform.
Yeah, I'm picking Buckley, but I don't think he gets I don't think we're going to see a third consecutive highlight reel knockout. I think he wins by decision in a close fight.
Is anyone
prove us wrong?
You want to go on Ponzinibbio upset? Are we buying that?
I'm not. I like Ponzinibbio's chance to come back.
Yeah, he looked really good on the scale. That was like one of my big questions. Like, how is he going to look on the scale? Was he going to be in good spirits? He seems to be in great spirits. So we'll see. I mean, Jing Liang, if you go back in history, when he's a big favorite, he doesn't perform well. But when he's a pretty sizable underdog, he's come through more oftentimes than not. So it's an interesting fight. I think it's a better fight than some people think.
I think it's a good fight.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are counting Jing Liang out. And I don't know why. It's a close fight. I think it's a pretty close fight. But Ponzinibbio could go in there and starch him in the first round too. Who knows?
Yeah, I think if he does, that's fine. I mean, that's nothing. That's not a bad thing. I think with the big layoff, this fight makes a lot of sense for both of them.
I like it.
Yep. Right,
Thank you, Sven.
Thank you. This one's for you, Mike.
Uh-oh. Are we really drinking the Kattar KoolAid too much? A lot of fighters and media folks seem to fancy Kattar. Okay, so let me preface all of this by saying one thing, and AK knows where I'm going with this. So AK and I did our On to the Next One 2021 prediction show, and one of the questions we had is we had to predict who the fighter of the year was for 2021 for the upcoming year. And when I make these picks, I like to go out on a limb, making myself like the only one or two people to maybe pick this. And I went with Calvin Kattar to be like the under the radar fighter of the year. Of course, he has to win this fight, and this fight could end my entire pick altogether. Like I could be out of the running come tomorrow morning, come tonight actually. But something, I don't know, I just have this gut feeling. That's how I based my picks on a lot of different things. So I think he's really good. And I think honestly, if Calvin Kattar is going to fight for a title, it has to be this year. Like if he loses this fight, I have a hard time believing he's going to get to that title fight. Not saying that he can't, but I think he's going to have a hard time getting there. So, and Holloway, big name, he could go up to 155 and possibly fight for a title. You know, even at 145, and if he loses today, he could still find his way back to a title shot. So I think if Kattar's going to make his move, it starts tonight or this afternoon. So I don't think so. I don't think we're drinking the Kool-Aid too much. I think this is a unbelievably perfect fight to kick off the ABC era. I think it's going to be a close fight either way. I don't think any guy gets finished, and I think both the guys are going to be there until the very end. So Kool-Aid, I'm drinking it. I'm guzzling it, if we're being honest. So it's a good fight.
I don't like that word.
Guzzling? Yeah, I didn't like it when I said it. I'm just
I don't like that word.
I'm drinking it quickly. Okay, how about that?
AK, fix your microphone. AK, fix your mic.
What a professional.
AK, come on.
Hello.
There we go.
All right. In discounting Mike's obvious New England bias, no, you can't. There's no reason not to believe in the hype. This again, after tonight, people can say whatever they want about, if Kattar loses, he was built up too quickly, he's not as good as good enough to have earned this fight, blah blah. People can backseat quarterback or Sunday morning quarterback all they want after, but he's done everything he can to prove that he is worthy of this number one contender. He's beaten the name. He's taking fights on short notice. He's gotten first round finishes against a good competition. So no, I think people are drinking just the right amount of Kool-Aid. If you're saying he's going to blow out Holloway and you're sure he's going to be a UFC champion this year, maybe you're guzzling a little too hard like Mike. But otherwise, no. I think if you're keeping your expectations where they are, which is he does deserve this fight, and he's and could absolutely could defeat Holloway. I know again most of us aren't picking him, but also if he beat Holloway, I don't think a lot of us would be like, oh, wow, I can't believe that happened. We just kind of be like, yeah, the torch has been passed. Kattar is as good as people said he was, and it's time for him to move on.
I think if Kattar wins a decision, we'll all be like, okay, cool, Kattar's really good. But I think if Kattar just dominates and even finishes Holloway, which will be an incredible feat, I think that would shock us. And if he finishes Holloway, dominates him with the first 2 rounds, we'll be guzzling that Kool-Aid. How about that? After that,
Jose, you gonna be guzzling that Kool-Aid, buddy?
Yeah.
This got off the rails real quick.
All right.
Oh God! If Calvin Kattar finishes Max Holloway, good God Almighty! I don't even.
Our own Jed Meshew has chimed in. It's so urgent. He messaged me directly. That means he has to be heard. Kattar is a great action fighter and a good fighter. He's the kind of guy who will never fight for a title. He didn't say Mike at the end, but I think he's directing that towards Mike. And then he said Kattar is Matt Brown-esque, which is, I don't know, confusing. But there's the Jed take for anyone.
Sounds like
a free take to me. Bonus take.
Hey, listen, we will fight. Oh no, Joe Nick Fight Talk podcast. Phil Haas is the lock of the night. Book it. He is a lock to not lose because he's not fighting today. So if you missed it,
yes.
Phil Haas versus Nasruddin Imavov is off the card. There's a non-COVID related medical issue. Phil Haas was not cleared to compete. So they're hoping to rebook that fight maybe for next Saturday at UFC 257, although Imavov's team tells me he has no idea if that's going to be the case or not, but the plan is to rebook that fight sometime down the road. When? We don't really know, but that fight is not happening tonight, or this afternoon. I got to get past this. This afternoon.
Yeah.
I'm going to be screwed on Wednesday when the first fight starts at 9 a.m.
Oh, does it?
There you
go. Wait.
Well, not for us. For us.
So it'll be 6 p.m. Sorry, first fight's at 6 p.m. for you.
Sure is. And then you guys I get a nice early one for the last card.
Dude,
Yes.
Phil Haas was like when you talk about Kattar being maybe your fighter of the year or breakout fighter of the year or whatever for 2021, Phil Haas was my pick for 2021. So I'm off to a stutter at the beginning. I don't know.
Well, we don't know. Hopefully it's something serious. Yeah,
I hope it's a stub toe. I hope it's a stub toe, and the doctor's like, no. That's what I hope.
Hopefully Phil's all right.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
What else we got? A little over 10 minutes to go here.
Someone says you look like you're up. I think this is a compliment. I'm gonna go ahead and say this is a compliment.
Mike Heck looks like he was up all night fighting crime. I actually slept very well. I slept very well. I did wake up early. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this, but yes, I fought crime.
Ooh.
Lots of it. Had a good night's sleep. E. Casey, name a better sandwich than the Godmother at Bay City's Deli. I have no idea what this means, Casey, so fill us in.
Bay City's Deli, right down the street. Great sandwiches. And Mr. Patel, you're right. There is no better sandwich. See,
there you go.
Local. I'm like a human Yelp review right here. Just
So if you're in the Inglewood area and you're looking for a lunchtime bite to eat for this card, head to
Bay City's. But I'm
the
not
Godmother.
Sure. Yeah.
Head to the Bay City's Deli, get the Godmother.
Not on. Hold on.
Nick Jackson, predict which main event will be the best one. Holloway, Kattar, Chiesa, Magny, McGregor versus Poirier.
Oh,
so
define best, right?
Yeah,
I mean, what's best? Most entertaining?
Yeah, maybe we'll go with most entertaining. Maybe we'll go with most entertaining.
I mean, I can't go away from it. Has to be McGregor Poirier then.
No, I would say Holloway Kattar as far as just pure entertainment. Because I can see Poirier. If we're talking pure entertainment, I can see Dustin controlling and wrestling Conor and tiring him out. So now that's smart fighting. Are we talking about just pure entertainment? That's a different story. But hype and everything, yeah, you gotta go Conor. I think just pure entertainment, action, violence-wise, Holloway Kattar.
I think I'm gonna go with, and maybe I'm wrong with the interpretation. I'm gonna go with like when the fight is over and we're doing the post-fight show, like which one of these three fights are gonna be like, oh my god, this is a fight of the year contender.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Then it's definitely tonight. Sure, tonight. Today, I should say. Sorry, today. It's definitely, if we're saying, what's the most competitive, back and forth, fight of the year candidate fight? Almost has to be Holloway Kattar. It sounds like we're discounting Chiesa Magny a lot, but Chiesa Magny could be really good. But just it'll be good in a different way. Holloway and Kattar is just stylistically such a great matchup. And again, you have two guys who really, Holloway, again, maybe the best feather in the world, depending how you perceive those Volkanovski fights. And Kattar just coming on so strong and always putting on good performances. So can't go wrong with that. But I mean, buzz-wise, I think the McGregor-Poirier fight is going to end in a finish, actually. I actually think that's ending in the first or second round. So I think that's going to be super exciting. But competitive, most competitive fight, I mean, it'll be Holloway, Kattar.
This might be a bit of a dark question, but of all these three main events, I believe Holloway Kattar, neither of these guys are actually making the post presser. They are both going to the hospital because there is going to be such a brawl. Do you believe in these fights, like as far as like just both guys are not going to be walking out of the cage the same no matter what?
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
It's possible.
Yeah, I'm seeing swollen faces. We'll have some swollen faces tonight. Some very upset.
Calvin Kattar's nose will be bleeding in this fight. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. As soon as he walks in the cage.
AKA Casey, this is your question. Thoughts on Ryan Hall versus Dan Ige?
Yeah, well, Kieran, I like Dan Ige, and it's a shame that he has been put in front of the unstoppable force. I was getting mixed up there. Unstoppable force that is Ryan Hall, and will probably end up getting one of his legs literally torn off his body. And again, it's a shame because Ige's, I think, has the potential to be a top 10 guy. He's had good performances in the UFC so far. And kudos to him for signing up to for this fight because you know it's going to be your last one. And I mean, what an honor for your last fight to be against the legend Ryan Hall. But I do hope that Dan Ige doesn't mind that this will probably be the last fight of his career.
Yeah. I just hope Dan Ige says all his goodbyes. Hope he talks. The fight's still a couple months away, so he has time to fly around the world, visit all his family and friends. Because when he enters that octagon with Ryan Hall, he won't come out. Like that's it. Dan Ige's done. I don't know. He has a death wish, I guess. If you want to see a man crippled in the UFC octagon, watch Ryan Hall do it. Because Dan Ige is he's just insane to take this fight. Every other fight, Holloway, Volkanovski, they're all ducking Ryan Hall. Every single person ducking Ryan Hall. Dan Ige, you are a brave man.
Yes, kudos to Ige.
It's a good fight. I'm excited for it.
We are guzzling the Kool-Aid here.
Oh,
yeah, you're great. You guys are funneling the Kool-Aid. You're funneling it.
Just beer bogging it.
You're bogging it. All right, so listen, we have a little over 5 minutes left. Okay, I feel like at least for now we have to address. Bruce Buffer's warming up right now. I feel it is time to address the elephant in the room.
Oh.
Right? Should we address this elephant in the room?
Let's do it.
Yep.
All right. So Dana White took to social media today, early this morning, and said 3 p.m. Eastern time, when the main card starts for this afternoon's card, we're going to find out Khabib Nurmagomedov's decision, if he's going to stay retired or if he's coming back. And then he said that it's going to have an effect on next Saturday's main event between Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor, and it's going to have effect on the co-main event between Michael Chandler and Dan Hooker. So, Jose, let us begin with you. Your prediction on what this decision is. And by the way, let me just preface by saying, I think what the UFC and Dana White are doing here, absolutely brilliant. This is brilliant promotional marketing right now to get people to tune in and to get people to care about this. So, Jose, what do you think?
I think Dana White wouldn't hide good news. I think that's my prediction. If Dana White got good news, we would know. I think he also said, let's not forget, his exact words were how it affects the main and co-main of UFC 257. So if he got good news, we would have heard about it. If it affects both of them, I think all breadcrumbs lead to, and that's a Hansel and Gretel reference for anyone who doesn't read, the three of you who don't read books on the site. I think all signs point to a quote-unquote tournament that they won't label a tournament. They'll use words
so leave
like
your comments.
but they won't use the word tournament or Grand Prix.
All right. What do you think, AK?
Thank you for the question from Latest Nevis or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I'll do my best for pronouncing that name. It's a beautiful name. I kind of agree with what Jose is saying. I'm not expecting. I've been on the Khabib is not going to fight again anytime soon. If he gets back, it would be much further down the road when a more obvious challenge presents itself for him to come back. So I do not think he's coming back this year. I probably doubt he's coming back next year. So yes, it will not be good news for the UFC as far as wanting Khabib to fight again. And I just, I'm not saying anything crazy here. I think it's pretty obvious. I think the next UFC 257 main event will just be for the vacant lightweight title, and Chandler and Hooker will be declared a number one contenders match. So boring answer, but that is what I think we'll see announced on ABC today.
Casey, your thoughts?
Oh yeah, Khabib's retired. I looked back on Fight Pass, and apparently Khabib's last fight, he actually announced he retired in the cage. I don't know if anyone saw it. I don't know if it got mixed up in the shuffle and everything. But Khabib actually retired. He actually gave a speech and everything. There's a couple of photos were taken of it. I think we might have even talked about it a few times. If you Google Khabib retirement, look it up. So, yeah. But fun, yay, fun. And and Poirier and McGregor will be for the belt next week. Unfortunately.
See, I think there might be more to this than you think.
I don't think it's going to be for the belt.
I think it's going to tournament?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, but I don't understand. Is it not for the belt because they want to do a tournament, or the belt's still not vacated yet officially, whatever that means?
Also, I think there's no way Khabib rematches Dustin. Dustin wins, he's not coming back. It's Conor and GSP are the only fights, and he's not. I am like 99.9% sure he will not fight Conor. So if they wants to vacate, because I've heard people say, why doesn't he just vacate and fight GSP so it's not tying up the title? That would be awesome, but it's probably not going to happen.
Does Khabib consider himself still champ?
I think so. Until they.
I'm sorry. What was that?
No one's talked. No one's he's not said anything outside of I'm retired. So, but he hasn't said anything about the championship or anything.
When Cejudo retired, did he have the UFC just the next week basically they just say, okay, the belt's vacated, right?
Pretty much.
Well, they gave him 2 weeks, and they were like, Dana was like, we're gonna talk next week when we get back to Las Vegas, and we'll see where his head's at. And then we found out that they're doing another title fight. So there you go. Petr Yan was fighting Jose Aldo. See, here's the thing. Maybe Khabib just didn't feel challenged. You know what I mean? So maybe the winner of McGregor and Poirier and the winner of Hooker versus Chandler, Khabib will fight both of them at the same time. Hell in a cell. Something crazy like that. No, I'm just kidding. I agree. Yeah. No, listen, I agree with everybody. I think one of two things is going to happen. Either McGregor versus Poirier will be a title fight, or what Jose said, which should have happened to begin with, some sort of Grand Prix or a tournament. And I wish they would involve 4 other guys and make it an 8-man thing and just make this thing massively great. But of course, that's not going to happen. So, but something to that effect will go down. Khabib will not be fighting in 2021. That's what I think is going to happen, but who knows? Stranger things have happened. Dana didn't look too thrilled making that video, but still, I thought they did a brilliant job at least promoting this and making this seem like it was something.
I agree with that. Dana White is, what do you call it? What did Brock Lesnar say? Building chicken salad out of chicken shit or something? I don't know, something like that.
Oh my god! Oh my goodness!
Well, the man retired, and somehow we're still talking about something that happened 2-3 months ago, and now it's gonna be a big deal on ABC, and it's the decision, all this stuff. So, yay! Yeah, promotion.
Listen, that's smart. As soon as people turn on the television, this is huge. People are going to stick around.
It is smart. It is smart. Not that I think it's the greatest thing ever, but it gets people watching, and I guess that's all that matters.
There you go. Well, with that being said, it is now just about 12:02 Eastern Standard Time, which means these fights are about to kick off on ESPN Plus, 3 p.m. Eastern. That's when the main card begins. Simulcast on ESPN Plus and ABC. This is massive. Holloway versus Kattar, the main event. Get ready, buckle up, and enjoy the fights. We'll see you back afterwards. We'll have the post-fight press conferences live, and then the post-fight show, I'm going to announce it. Laura Sanko is going to join us for the post-fight show live here on the MMA Fighting YouTube channel. Lots to discuss with her, I'm sure. But in the meantime, for Casey, AK, and Jose, I am Mike Heck. We'll see you after the fights. Enjoy them, everybody.
I love this song.
It's brilliant.